Hello YouTubers and welcome to part 2 of my Land Before Time movies ranking. Sorry for the delay with this video. Life is getting busier and busier, so less time for YouTube unfortunately, but never mind. So, okay, part 2. So, I have done the first half of this ranking. There are 14 movies, so I split the list in half. I've done 7 movies in the first part, and now doing the last 7 in this part. So we're into the top 7. Woo! If you haven't seen part 1, the list is currently as follows. Number 14 was The Wisdom of Friends. 13, Invasion of the Tinysuaruses. Number 12, Journey to Big Water. Number 11 was The Great Valley Adventure, I believe. Number 10 is Journey of the Brave. Number 9, The Great Day of the Flyers. And number 8 was The Secret of Saurus Rock. Okay, so, feel free to go and watch part 1 if you haven't already. As of now, number 7. Number 7 is The Big Freeze.
He's family, family, though he may go away, he has always been our family, and family he'll stay.
You know, I like this one. This was a good one. This was an interesting one because this was great character development for Spike and Ducky and their relationship. How Ducky's crumbling at the thought of losing her, well, essentially her brother. I mean, I know they're different species, but she's seen him as a brother. Because Spike has to choose between 2 families. So this is quite an emotional one. I quite liked it. Spike, especially, even though Spike doesn't talk very much, you can still see his emotional struggle, and as well for Ducky as well. Like, there's that moment where she actually has a rant. She like emotionally explodes at Spike, and she just rants, and she just tells him to go away and just leave, which is very heartbreaking to see. However, it's not perfect. This movie does kind of the third act of the movie does let it down. The ending is very lazily written. I felt they could have written the ending slightly better, and yeah, it just, I don't know about the pacing as well. I think some of the pacing was kind of lost, and yeah, I think the third act could have been written. It was a bit lazy the way they wrote it, but it was a decent film, and I quite liked it. Obviously, the other characters don't feature as much in this one, but yeah, no, this was a good film. This was an enjoyable one, but it's not my favourite, mainly just for the third act. But no, I like the relationship with the characters this time. Excuse me. So, number 6, The Time of the Great Giving.
When life is tough, you gotta be tougher if you want to stay alive. When the trail gets rough, you gotta get rougher to help your family survive. You can't run around in circles.
I like this one. This is a good story. This one has an interesting plot about the drought, like the fact that there's no food and water. So interesting story to go. The only downside with this one is I think the villains. The villains are a bit like pointless. Like the bully dinosaurs. I mean, why did we even have them in the film? There was no need for them. They honestly didn't do very much. The songs are okay. There's that one that Sarah's dad sings for some reason when he's like, "Life is tough. You've got to be tough to survive," or something like that. It's a bit weird, but yeah. So the songs are weird, but this is a good one. It's quite fun and it's enjoyable. It's definitely an improvement over the second one, but it doesn't quite reach the emotional heights of the first one. But it's definitely enjoyable and it has a good story. I just think the villains let it down. I just think the villains really let it down. They don't need to be the bullies. I don't see why that was done. But it's enjoyable and I think kids would like it. So that's that. Number 5 is The Great Migration.
Wherever you will go, when you reach your journey's end, know
Great Migration. This is a good one. This is a very, very good one. This is where we start getting to the best ones in the series. This one I was very impressed with, because this to me should have been the ending of the series. I really feel like this was the natural place to end the film series. I think the last 4 movies did not need to happen. Littlefoot finding his dad and then having to choose between his family. And there's that lovely song at the end where all 5 of them sing, and then when Littlefoot has to make his choice, like to let go of his dad or to let go of his friends, he chooses very well. And more to the point, the story is just very engaging. It's actually quite an emotional story, and you really feel sorry for Littlefoot and his struggle, because obviously he's already lost his mother and he doesn't want to lose his dad, but at the same time, you know, his dad isn't going to stay, so it all comes down to that decision. And I think this was a very entertaining film, one of the best of the series. The songs were very good this time, and again, as I said, this should have been the ending. This should have been the last one. It really should have been. They didn't need to continue after this, but yeah, a very, very nice way to end the series, if it was the ending. Okay, number 4, Journey Through the Mists.
It takes all sorts to make our day. Smart and slow sorts, high and low sorts, to make the world we live in a place.
Journey Through the Mists. This is a lot of people's favourite. A lot of people have this as their favourite. Harry Thomas, my friend, this is his favourite sequel, I believe. It's a really sweet one, like with Littlefoot and Ali, the young Longneck. They have their, well, I guess they have a sort of romance, but it's not like, it doesn't go very far, but they do have a relationship and a chemistry. And interesting how like she kind of causes a divide with Littlefoot and his friends. So there's a bit of tension there. The villains I don't like in the film. That's why I've put this one sort of a little bit lower than some people would. I put this at number 4. I do think the villains are they're just trying to be comic relief, and I just don't think it works. Again, you want my extensive thoughts, you can go to the reviews. But I felt the villains really sort of took away from the story for me. But I liked the songs as well. The songs were very good this time. It was definitely the first time since the first one where I felt genuine emotion, so that was good. And I think it's very well animated as well. I think it's just a very beautiful story. But it's not my favourite, because I think there are 3 others that they just top it for me. They just do. So without further ado, but I mean, as the last film from Roy Allen Smith, he did a good job at crafting this one, and the voice acting is very good too. The top 3. Number 3 is one of my absolute favourites, The Stone of Cold Fire.
Beyond the mysterious beyond, trust in your own imagination. You are a part of the creation of all that lies beyond, the mysterious beyond.
The mysterious beyond.
I was debating whether or not to put this at number 2, but I don't know. Like, I really like The Stone of Cold Fire. It's a really good one. The songs are some of the best, like Beyond the Mysterious Beyond, Good Inside, and I can't actually remember the other one, but I'm sure it was great. And I like the fact that it focuses on Petrie and his uncle Tyranno. Michael York actually voices Tyranno, who was in the film Logan's Run when he was younger. But he's a really good character. I like his struggle. The fact that he just wants to be accepted by the herd, and yet he's made a mistake and he's trying to repay that. And I like the story. I think this is one of the most creative stories in the series, that when they go looking for this Stone of Cold Fire. And I really I feel sorry for Petrie in this film. Like, he's dealing with a lot of emotional turmoil with his uncle. Like, he really does like his uncle, and he really doesn't want his uncle to go, but sadly his uncle made mistakes. So Yeah, and I think the animation is great too. This is the first time when they use a bit of CGI, and the colours are slightly more colourful than some of the previous films, which is interesting. And I think I like the chemistry with all the kids. The 5 kids are really good in this one when they go on their adventure. There's such a nice rapport between them, and the rainbow-faced dinosaurs are really cool as well. They're nice characters, and it's just a lot of fun from beginning to end. There's some nice heartfelt moments. There really are, between Petrie and his uncle, but to me it just falls a bit short in some areas. But generally speaking, I really do like this one. So it's number 3. Number 2 is actually The Mysterious Island.
Always there, someone you can count on to comfort you. Always there, like a green, green valley.
I really enjoyed this one as well. I watched this one a lot as a kid, and I just think this is so much fun. And this one actually got to me. This one was really heartfelt and very moving. There's that moment when they're stuck on the island and it's nighttime, and they sing the song "Always There," which is genuinely very moving. I really like that. And it's nice to see Chomper come back. And I do feel though that Chomper is introduced a little bit late into the film, but this one just keeps moving. The pacing is really quick. Obviously the villain, there could have been a bit more of a villain, like just the sharp teeth again, but still the final fight is very entertaining. There's a lot of great peril in this film. There's a lot of great action sequences in this one. This one is probably one of the most fun to watch. The music score is really good as well, and the acting is some of the best actually. I really do think, for Charles Grosvenor, his first movie in this series, he did an absolute terrific job. Absolutely terrific. I could never get tired of this one. It really is. It's one that I used to watch quite a lot, and it's definitely one that's stuck with me. And it is, for my money, the best of the Land Before Time sequels because of that reason. So, of course, we have number 1. Number 1 is, of course, the original Land Before Time. Okay, Land Before Time, the original. What can I say? This movie is absolutely fantastic. I love this film. It's none of the sequels ever came close to this. It's the only one in the series that isn't a musical, and it tells a very real story about survival and the harshness of reality. Like the fact that it begins with Littlefoot losing his mother. You know, it's a very powerful film. Like how the kids meet and come together, which is really nice. It shows, like, again, the harshness of life and the emotional struggles of all the characters as they fight to survive and get to the Great Valley. It's just a real personal story, and it's actually quite mature for what it does, which is why it's a shame that the next film actually was a bit more light and fluffy, but never mind. I would have liked the entire series to be like this, to be honest. There's a lot of emotion. The song "We Hold On Together" is really nice. I believe it was directed very well by Don Bluth. The acting is sublime across the board. It's such a shame about Judith Barcy, though, who voiced Ducky in the first film. Now, she sadly passed away shortly afterwards. But oh well, that's what happened. But it is definitely a classic in animation, and if you're going to watch any Land Before Time movie, watch this one. It is the original, it is the best, and for me it tells the best story, and it really began what became a very long series of films, and it did it so well. It's near enough a masterpiece. It really is. It moves along very well at a good pace. The animation is beautiful. It's just, I love the emotional side of the story. What can I say? It's really, really good. So, that is my ranking of the Land Before Time movies done. So, just to recap the list. Number 14, The Wisdom of Friends. Number 13, Invasion of the Tinysuaruses. Number 12, The Journey to Big Water. Number 11, The Great Valley Adventure. Number 10, Journey of the Brave. Number 9, The Great Day of the Flyers. Number 8, Secrets of Saurus Rock. 7, The Big Freeze. 6, The Time of the Great Giving. 5, The Great Migration. 4, Journey Through the Mists. 3, The Stone of Cold Fire. 2, The Mysterious Island. And 1, the first film, Land Before Time. So, that is that. Thank you all very much for watching my reviews and ranking of the Land Before Time series. Thank you very much to Anthony Ford, who's been a big supporter of these reviews and this ranking. So thank you very much, and stay tuned for more videos. So until next time, I'm Mr. Thomas 11. Thank you for watching. See you later.